Pastor Roger Patterson with Vision for Life Radio, where faith and sports collide.
In 2010, you are traded from the Astros to the Yankees. What was that like?
That was tough. That was probably the low point of my baseball career, for a number of reasons. One, I'd never known anything but the Astros. Like in my mind, I was thinking, I'm going to retire a Houston Astro. I didn't want to really go anywhere. I mean, it's really the time where I learned professional sports as a business, and you don't. It's not like woe is me, but you realize as a player there's no loyalty. Like the organizations aren't loyal to players, and there's sort of this facade or this veneer of loyalty that the charade really that players and organizations conduct. But at the end of the day, like when you lose your usefulness, you're going to be gone. And so all that to say, like I got traded, went from a place where I was really comfortable to New York, which is, I don't know if anybody's ever been up there, but that's a different place altogether.
It's not Texas.
It's not Texas for sure, culturally. And I was having the worst year of my career. I mean, I was used to hitting around 300, and I was hitting about 240. And
243.
Yeah, and just not good. And so, yeah, thanks for reminding me. Anyway, it was very difficult. It was very difficult, and it's like anything else. A lot of times when you go through a trial or go through a tough situation, you really can't see God operating. You can't feel like He's operating in the midst of that. But then when you have a chance to look back on it, you realize, oh, okay. Because what happened there was in 2010, we were in spring training, we were doing a drill, and I stepped on first base funny and tore my meniscus in my knee. And so to that point, my experience I've had a couple of knee surgeries, and they'd all gone really well. Like I'd gotten whatever it was fixed, and it hadn't been too long of a rehab. And so they gave me the option. They said, well, you can try to play through this. It's going to bother you all year, or you can go ahead and just get it fixed real quick and get it behind you. So in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to deal with this thing swelling up and all that, so let me just get it fixed. Well, it was the one operation I had that didn't really take very well. Like I didn't respond as well to it as I thought I was going to, and so it ended up being a little bit of a lengthier deal, and it was something that nagged me all year long. And I'm sitting there going, this is ridiculous. I'm at 240. I don't feel good, now. Right. But I can look back on that and see that there was a reason, because if I hadn't, that was the only thing that was going to move me out of Houston. Like I'd established myself to a certain extent here, and it would have taken the worst year of my career. It would have taken an organizational attitude that was bent towards a rebuild, which we did get into, because that year they traded Roy and they traded Lidge the year before, and we had not re-signed Andy, so like they were starting to kind of get rid of all the old dead wood and move on to the younger guys. And so all of those circumstances conspired to make the trade happen. And if I hadn't been traded, then I never would have signed with St. Louis as a free agent, and I never would have won a World Series. And it ended up going from, in 2010 was probably, it was the worst year of my career, and then the very next year may have been the best year of my career in terms of, the experience that I had on the field, winning a World Series, playing with a great group of guys, playing in a city that just is baseball nuts. And so it ended up being a really great thing. And so looking back, I see how God was sort of orchestrating some of that, and didn't have an appreciation for it when the trial was going on, but afterwards I could see, oh, okay, that makes sense for me now.
Yeah.